Okay, everyone, welcome. My name is Leslie Doyle. I'm the Director of Early Childhood Academics and Improvement at the Louisiana Department of Education. And I'm also the key contact behind the Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training modules. So all of the participants on this call are our contractors. So if you're on this call, then you have been selected to build one of Louisiana's early childhood key training modules. So congratulations. We've selected you because we know that you're going to create a great professional development session and thus influencing the quality of early childhood care and education across the state. The purpose of this webinar is to ensure that our contractors are prepared to provide the highest level of training for Louisiana's early childhood workforce through the creation of Louisiana's early childhood key training modules. So we're going to be discussing an overview of Louisiana early childhood key training modules, talk about the importance of high quality professional development and what high quality professional development looks like. We're going to review the module structure, talk about a timeline for this RFA, and then there'll be a chance to answer any questions and to provide you with my contact information. So let's get started. What are Louisiana early childhood key training modules? So the Louisiana early childhood key training modules we're hoping will increase the quality of training available to early childhood teachers across the state. These training modules are going to be a set of accessible, high-quality trainings designed by experts in the field. That's you guys, on the best practices in the field of early childhood education. Once created, these modules will be branded by the Louisiana Department of Education, and they'll be shared with key professional development vendors across the state to be used for redelivery. The design of each standardized training module will incorporate activities and presentation methods appropriate for adult learners to ensure that trainers, coaches, community leaders, and directors can possibly provide quality trainings on the subjects that matter most for supporting child development. And I just want to throw in a little tidbit of information. We've been having our early childhood roundtable events where we've been traveling around the state talking about some of the projects that we have going on with early childhood and the Department of Education. And when we discuss the early childhood key training modules, there's quite a bit of buzz. Our stakeholders and the community that's out there is really excited to see these modules actually come into existence. So once again, we're so excited to be working with y'all here. Okay, let's take a look at the key training modules that will be offered for RFA 1. So for this RFA, we focused on early childhood tools and standards. And more specifically, we discussed standards, curriculum, assessment, and then integrated approaches of combining all of those. So you can see we have a lot of local talent and expertise from universities, child care resource and referral agencies, and early childhood ancillary certificate programs. We also have national partnership organizations who have submitted applications who will be building a model as well. Teaching Strategies, who provides Louisiana's early childhood classrooms with our Birth to 5 assessment, TS Gold, is one of our contractors. So it would definitely make sense for them to be creating a key training module based on assessment and integrated approaches with assessment. So I'll just give you a little bit of time if you want to look at some of the contractors that we have and some of the module session titles that y'all have provided with us. Don't worry, you're not wed to those titles. So if, for example, NSU just said curriculum, if you want to get fancy and give something more specific, you can do so as you're building your module. Okay, the importance of high quality professional development. These trainings you create must be the highest quality. They will be redelivered to teachers across the state, and they are an important lever to improving quality of care and education for our youngest learners. So what is quality professional development? Quality professional development values the professional expertise of teachers and allows them to be a part of a collaborative team that nourishes individuals and cultivates their wisdom to teach and learn together. Quality professional development connects to a broader vision of where and how the teacher and center can grow over time. This practice can help shift the center's culture to effectively cultivate skills, knowledge, and dispositions in a way that stewards a broader shared vision. Quality PD creates space and time for authentic collaboration. This can lead to dialogue about best practices and strategies to help to build relationships with peers to strategically working together to meet the needs of children. Quality PD isn't passively received, but rather it's interacted with through purposeful engagement. It incorporates the learning and experiences of all the participants and evaluates the effectiveness of the content and the understanding of participants. So we've all been victims of ineffective professional development. So let's just remember that quality professional development is not just dissemination of a bunch of information that could have been sent out in an email. It's not a bunch of disconnected workshops. It's not retelling the participants information that they already know. It's not bringing people together just for the sake of a meeting. And it's not disconnected from the classroom or center realities. And it is definitely not solely delivered in a death by PowerPoint manner. So let's look closely at the module structure for our key training modules. Once created, each training module will provide 2 hours of high quality professional development training on research-based best practices. So these training modules will be redelivered to teachers and directors across the state by approved professional development vendors using PowerPoint presentations, audio-video resources, and handouts. As such, they need to be engaging for adult learners and incorporate multiple methods of learning so that any presenter could just pick up this presentation and successfully train any teacher in this critical topic. Each training will consist of 2 hours of professional development training. So think about what you proposed. Will it fit in a 2-hour model? If it was too long, think about what you could maybe take out or condense to make it fit. If there was not quite enough information, think about what information they may need to be elaborated on, or should you include more opportunities for participants to engage with the content. Also, delivery of each training module should be sensitive to varying learning styles and modalities, as well as education levels and experience. You need to make sure that enough information is provided to support facilitators in presenting this information to participants with limited background knowledge. So try to avoid using too many acronyms or educational jargon without previously explaining what it is. So contractors, while working with the department, will create high-quality training modules consisting of ready-to-go presentations that can be easily redelivered across the state. So our module structure looks like this. So all trainers can successfully redeliver Louisiana early childhood key training modules. It's imperative that all modules must contain all materials necessary for redelivery. Specifically, all modules must include pre-work and pre-assessment, participant engagement activities, PowerPoint presentation, training manual with facilitator notes, any handouts that are used, and other formative evaluation tools. Remember, you are critical levers in improving the quality of early childhood care and education across Louisiana's classrooms, and we want to be able to share your information with others that are closest with children. Let's go a little bit deeper into each of those required module structure buckets. Pre-work and pre-assessment. So most of you included your module description within your application. So just make sure to send again in your Word document a title. Feel free to change your title from what you previously submitted. Make sure it's no longer than 15 words and also include a description no longer than 100 words. This is so it could be used maybe in a course catalog or something quick posted on an R&R's website that participants can look at and easily understand the objectives of that training session. Make sure that your module includes pre-work. Pre-work could be any preparation assignments that should be provided to training participants prior to participating in the module training. That may include an agenda or any readings or activities that participants should engage with before attending, or any questions that participants may reflect upon prior to attending the training. A pre-assessment. So you'll want to develop a pre-assessment that evaluates the confidence level of each participant regarding the topics discussed within each session. You will need to develop a similar post-assessment to be given at the closure of each training session to assess the participant's growth. If you want an example of a pre and post assessment, I have linked one right here. It's not really related to early childhood, but I kind of liked the way that it was laid out. In addition, please provide presenters with information on how they will be able to use the data from the pre and post assessment in order for them to guide their facilitation of the training module. I'm seeing some notes popping up in the chat box. Will we get a copy of these slides? Yes, you will. Yes, you will definitely get a copy of these slides, and I will also send the recording of it. Thank you, Karen. Okay, our PowerPoint presentations. Make sure that slides display talking points for the presenters during the module. Presenters must be able to expand upon topics using the speaker's notes and training manual. Make sure that your module is developed using the Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Module slide templates that I provided for you a couple of weeks ago or last week. Also, follow the LDOE brand style guide and communication style guide to ensure quality presentation materials adhering to LDOE guidelines. So the style guide has information about what colors you might use, or please abstain from using clip art. Don't use multiple graphic styles. Information about photographs and some of those specific to what our LDOE brand represents. The communication style guide has information regarding language, grammar, maybe how to correctly abbreviate things, how to, and things in that nature. So just reference both of those guides, and if you have any additional questions that those guides may not be able to answer, please feel free to reach back out to me. So this is an example of a training manual. So presentation slides with speaker notes will be within our training manuals. Provide slides for a trainer to use to guide the presentation, not exceeding 3 slides per page. Then accompany each slide with detailed speaker's notes. Arrange it like this, where text formatted in standard font is intended to be read aloud by the facilitator. Text formatted in bold is excerpted directly from the presentation slides. Text formatted in italics is intended as directions or notes for the facilitator. Italicized text is not meant to be read aloud. So I kind of did a little bit of an example right there where you can see the 3 different types of text and how it would be presented. In addition to including presentation slides with speaker notes in your training manuals, also include any handouts. Handouts should be high quality originals or blackline masters. You can in both Word format and PDF format used during the module presentation. So any handouts that are given during the module presentation, also include them in your training module as a Word doc and a PDF document. This includes any pre or post assessments. Okay. Evaluation tools. You must provide the opportunities for participants to reflect upon their learning, indicate a successful transfer to practice, and or demonstrate acquisition of knowledge and skills. So here are a few examples of some evaluation tools. Remember, we said that pre-assessments and post-assessments must be included, but some of the other examples are kind of optional. So self-evaluation and reflection, any journaling, partner talk, collaborative learning activities, exit tickets, technology-based apps such as Kahoot and Plickers, which are mostly using polling. And just make sure that detailed instructions are provided for whichever chosen evaluation methods and tools you use, so that facilitators can present them with ease. And here's kind of a sample of a pre-assessment that I was talking about, where I put some of the topics and objectives that we'll be covering in the session, and participants will rate their confidence level with each one. Okay, let's look at the RFA timeline. So the key training module contractors were announced on March 27th. An informational webinar is provided to you guys today. And then we're hoping to you will submit your first draft of the key training modules in between the week of April 29th to May 3rd. So you can submit it at any time during that week. If you've got it already finished and you're just kind of waiting for us to give you a thumbs up or to tell you maybe what needs to be worked on, you can turn it in as early as April 29th. If you're still working on a few things, you may want to wait a little later, that's fine. And it doesn't necessarily all have to be completely finished by that time. This is just when we will turn in that draft. But remember, there's only so many times that you're going to be given feedback. So you want to submit it to us as complete as possible. On May 13th through 17th, that's a week in between there, a Monday through Friday, that's when you will submit again you'll respond to the feedback that we gave you, and then you will submit a second draft of the key training module. So you'll submit your revised version of it. We'll give that back to you. And then May 28th, all final key training modules in requested format with requested revisions. All those materials will be due to the department at that time. And then the summer or the fall of 2019, contractors are going to participate in a one-time train the trainer session to be hosted by the department. We're still trying to figure out kind of the logistics or what that will look like. So just stay tuned for any updates there. Okay, and a little bit of extra information. This is RFA 1, but as we mentioned before, this is the first of 3 requests for applications to build a comprehensive set of Louisiana early childhood key training modules. So we have 2 more that are going to be released later this year. We're hoping to release the second RFA, which will relate to effective adult-child interactions, later this month. And then RFA 3, which will relate to management and leadership, will be tentatively released June of 2019. So we hope that you guys continue to send out us those great applications for us to review. And just a little bit of extra information. As I mentioned earlier, we have our early childhood roundtable events that we've been going around the state to talk to our stakeholders about the department's vision to increase access and quality care and education for our youngest learners. So we've already been to Bossier City and Monroe, and if you're able to, try to come to a meeting in your area. There's been a lot of buzz about these key training modules, and I was so excited when we went to our Bossier City meeting. We actually had some of our contractors in the room. So Northwestern was there, and we were able to call attention to them and recognize them for being selected to build a key training module. So it was kind of neat to have them there. Okay. First, are there any questions? If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and I will unmute you, or you can type it into the text box. Another thing that I didn't quite get to mention, but Lizzie, a member on our team, is preparing the contracts now. They have been submitted to our procurement team for review. So hopefully she'll be sending those out to you maybe within the next week or so to get signatures so that you can start to receive payment for the key training modules. No questions? Give you a little bit more time. There's an FAQ that has been created, but this FAQ is more of a work in progress. I was slowly adding questions as they were given to me by participants, applicants in the field. So if you have any additional questions, I can add to this document as they come along. So the document is organized by questions about applying for the RFA, and then questions about building the key training module. If you have any additional ones, please share, and I will add it to our FAQ. Okay, I have one question. Where is the data from the pre-assessments going to go? Is it being collected by the state? Can it be electronic? From the pre-assessment, I think it's up to pretty much the presenter. Each R&R may have a method of doing it. It can be electronic. You can give them an option, but I would also include, for example, I think I made mine on Google Forms, but I would include a paper version as well. So it won't be submitted to us at the State Department, but I think it's kind of more so related to how the facilitator hopes to use that information. But if you do choose to do an electronic one, I would also have a black line master on paper for those facilitators that might not be as tech savvy. How many participants do we expect to have in each session? I'm not quite sure what are typically the number of participants that are in a R&R meeting session. Karen, I'm unmuting you. Okay, 20 to 40. She said typically they're about 20 to 40. So at this point, we're saying it's just R&Rs, but we are also planning to offer it up to lead agencies to possibly deliver. And technically, any pathways trainer can deliver as well, yes. But I think the main ones that we're focusing on right now is the R&Rs. It's written in their new contracts that this will be a part of their training. But we will definitely have it available to those lead agencies or anyone else that would be interested. Make sure I've got all the questions. Okay. So yeah, she also said that some training sessions may have as few as 5, but typical on average, probably about 20 or 30. Okay, any others? Like I said, if you don't have any questions now and you come up with a question, feel free to email it to me. I can include it on the FAQ, and other people can benefit from knowing the answer. Okay, well, then I will pull this webinar down and save it as a PDF and send it out to all of you guys within the next hour. And I will probably share the video maybe by early next week. Thank you all so much for joining, and good luck with finishing and creating your module. We're excited. Bye.